I think that the investigation that was conducted was not done with independent investigators that I know and trust.
You're talking like a politician, Sheriff. You are giving me a politician. You're talking like a politician.
No.
You know what politicians do? They dodge an answer. I'm asking you a yes or no question. Is there an open question where the federal government had something to do with 9/11? Is that an open question to you?
I'm just saying we don't know the truth, and I want to know the truth.
You're talking like a politician. Okay, so the truth is not. No. You're suggesting that there's something to.
But I didn't get on the show to talk about 9/11. 9/11 is not anything.
All you have to do is say.
Let me tell you, Chris. Let me tell you honestly, okay? I begin every one of my speeches saying this is not, the Tea Party is not about, or this movement for freedom is not about 9/11. It's not about chemtrails. It's not about the assassination of JFK. This is about whether or not we're going to follow our Constitution. This is, you know, Glenn Beck was really out of line, and I think he owes Deborah Medina an apology. Here's a lady that's at 4%, goes to 25% in a matter of 2 weeks, and he wants to know what she feels about 9/11. That is not going to solve our problem. That is not what the Tea Parties are after. They want to know if politicians who promise to uphold and defend the Constitution will actually follow that and keep their word.
Okay, let's get to your beliefs. Second Amendment, should the government have any gun control?
No, absolutely not. No.
None.
No, except
you can have any firearm, automatic weapon, whatever you want.
Except for felons. Yeah, and I don't need a permit, and I don't need to ask government's permission to be able to exercise a right guaranteed in the Constitution that those politicians already promised to uphold and defend.
Do you think if you drove a tank down the street or carried a bazooka, would the federal government have a right to take it out of your hands?
You can't keep and bear that. These are weapons that you can keep and bear.
Automatic weapons. Can you have an automatic weapon without the government getting in your way? Should you be allowed to have an automatic weapon?
It's none of their business. It's none of their business what kind of gun
back in the 1930s when they outlawed Tommy guns, they were wrong.
Yeah, what did that hurt? What did it reduce crime? Did it reduce crime? No. All it did was embolden people that had them, like anybody that was the gangs in Chicago. It hasn't reduced crime. Gun control has never reduced crime. Let's not pretend here. It has never happened in world history, ever.
Okay, let me ask you about your beliefs about the federal government. Do you think the federal government is bad in itself, or just simply the people that happen to be running it? Do you think there's something that you don't like about Washington? And tell me what that is.
No.
The institutions of the government.
I don't like anything in Washington, D.C. when it's destroying freedom and land, controlling farmers, controlling ranchers, controlling the air we breathe, controlling everything and every facet of our lives. They do not have the authority to do that. It is not constitutionally granted.
Because, you know, when I think of Washington, I think of the Congress. Okay, so who's the boss?
Congress right now has the lowest rating in the history of our nation.
I agree with you. Boy, they're blowing it. I'm complete. But are they particular people like Nancy Pelosi, or is there somebody behind the scenes that's running Washington? You say bureaucrats. Who are these people that are doing the thing you don't like? I'm just trying to figure that out.
OSHA, EPA. I mean, it goes on and on.
Well, they're all operating under the instructions of Congress. Yeah, but they were all created by Congress.
And the worst one, let me tell you the worst one. Who has allowed that random audits by the IRS? We're always audited. Everybody in the United States is subject to a random audit, which is completely and entirely unconstitutional, and yet they will not audit the Fed. The Federal Reserve gets a free ride all the way through because these politicians in Washington, D.C. will not take control and follow their own laws.
Occupational Safety and Health Administration, what has that done that you consider is unconstitutional?
The who?
The OSHA. You just said OSHA is one of the bad guys. This is one of the federal bureaucrats you blame for everything. What they do?
They control business. They cost jobs. They cause all sorts of monetary. They cause all sorts of monetary problems with businesses that have to always comply with these idiotic rules from OSHA. OSHA doesn't. The states and the counties can run their own businesses therein. We do not need Washington, D.C. micromanaging the country or businesses across this country. It is not constitutionally theirs. They have stolen these powers, and the Tea Parties are saying we're taking back our freedom and we're taking back our country.